Welcome back. Defection has become an undying feature in Nigerian politics, and we want to look at defection's implications on our democracy. Looking at that this morning, we have our guest in the studio is a public analyst, Barrister Darlington Agomo. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Bella. Good morning, viewers.
Okay, let me ask you, because you've been seeing things going on in the political system, and then you've seen how it played out in the National Assembly, and how even in Benue State House of Assembly. I mean, when you look at all of this and look at our system, where we say we're practicing democracy, does that reflect, you know, the nature of a country that's practicing democracy?
You see, every system has its ups and downs. At every point in time, you will have good players come into the system. They will play their role and go. Then posterity will record it. At another point, bad players will come in. They will equally play their role and posterity will record it. There is no time a country will go through its lifetime, though no country can die. There's no time a country can run a system ad infinitum without you getting hiccups here and there. I think we're undergoing our own hiccups because of the players in the system. Not that democracy is bad. It is not. If it is bad, then Europe and America would have crumbled years ago. It is that democracy that is sustaining those people. In fact, Russia, former USSR, wanted to go socialism, but they couldn't make it. So that will tell you that any day, anytime, democracy is the way to go as long as human governance is concerned. It is democracy. The Greek philosophers who gave us this ideology, they were not stupid. Plato, Aristotle, and this other one, I remember his name, Socrates. They were not stupid. So democracy, you can never run any society without democracy. So if any player comes in with a mindset to undermine the tenets of democracy, you will have such things.
Okay, have we had good leaders in Nigeria? I just want us to know. Have we
unfortunately, the good leaders we would have had, they were brief. They were brief in the scene. That is, they didn't last long. You know, they were not allowed to actually entrench their principles into the consciousness of the people. That is why our democracy is still nascent, as they describe it. We have not had leaders who will entrench democratic tenets into our consciousness. So the few who will come, the moment they come with their own way of doing things, which, you know, is near democratic, you will discover that the bad guys around will not allow him to stay long. And that is why we have always had these ad hoc democratic ideas, because they have not been entrenched. If they have been entrenched, nobody will thwart it. That is why you see players who will come into the scene, they will rubbish whatever we have gained, because it has not been entrenched.
I'm going to hold you on there, please. We have a call.
Yes.
Hello, good morning. Good morning to you, Godwin.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. We are hearing you.
Hello.
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 Okay, my contribution is this. The people that are deflecting from party to party, they are not deflecting because of we, the masses in Nigeria. They are deflecting because maybe the government does not favor them. So, to my own opinion, I don't even want this democracy government anymore, because the democracy government is not favorable. When military was ruling us, I think we enjoy the government better than this time. All the people that are ruling us now, they are ruling us just because they want better thing for their family, not for weak, poor masses in Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, yes.
I think my caller missed it. You see, no two situations are the same. If a man is in the ruling government and he has been telling that government, look, this is the right thing to do. This is how we think things can move forward. And the people concerned are lackadaisical, arrogant, unconcerned and all that. And you have your integrity to protect. You have your belief, your principle to protect. Will you still stay there? Look, it would have been, I would have aligned my thought with the caller if these were PDP members going over to APC. But what we have within this last 1 week is APC members, APC in the ruling government, majority of them from the National Assembly, saying that, look, we cannot be part of this thing. No. Unfortunately, most Nigerians have not been told what is going on. I am very, very sure that there is something, there are informations available to people which they don't want to be part of.
I would have to come in there.
Yes.
Because before we get into the whole defection and all the issues around the defection, you made a statement about how Nigeria has not been really blessed with good leadership.
Yes.
And I just want to ask, who should take responsibility for that? Is it the individuals who are running for office? Is it the institutions that are supposed to be acting as check and balance, or the electorate themselves?
It is the institution of the states. Apart from the role you and I have to play, we don't have institutions, we don't have democratic institutions upon which to build our democracy. They are not there yet. That is why I told you, anybody can come in and start afresh instead of building on what he or she met on ground, because these things are not there. It is not the fault of the people. The people have always known where to go. They have always known what to do. But the players, that is the problem. The players is like our mindset is not imbued with democratic tenets. That is just how to put it. I don't know whether it is a cause or something about Africa. We don't know how to go democratic. Maybe because of years of colonization or monarchical dictatorship and all that. But since the world has come to realize that democracy is the way to run a government, and it has been working all over the world, so African leaders are finding it difficult to join the queue.
Okay, but looking at what is happening right now in Nigeria, where it's not the first time this is happening. It has happened before. In fact, before 2015, towards the election in 2015, we saw people defected. So it's not even the first time. It's not about defection. Could this be about an individual thing? Because yesterday we saw the national chairman of the APC, Adam Soshomole, saying that there's not going to be automatic tickets for lawmakers. Is it about their position? Is it because of what they want to gain? They are moving away from this party.
Now, go back to history. Realize what happened. When this defection happened in 2015, countdown to 2015 election, you should realize what happened. It's not as if the people that defected, they are looking for a job or what to eat as per se. No. There are certain things they were asking from the government of that day, that the government said, well, I'm not ready to do that. In fact, they were using it as a bait, you know, because I wrote an article on this issue. The 7 governors that defected under Jonathan, EFCC was after them. And they said, look, that Jonathan should direct EFCC to lay off their back. And the man said no. So they went the other way. These are one of the reasons. Because I said I wrote an article that was published in the Sun on this particular.
So are you saying that there is an undertone?
So,
there's something
yes, but in this
that
case
they are
now,
covering. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, in this case now, look at it very well. That's why I told that no two situations are the same. Look at it holistically. What is at stake here? There is a template in organizing world, state, and national congresses of APC as a party. It was not followed. It was not. It's a question of one man nominating somebody. How was their chairman nominated? How was it appointed? Everybody saw what happened. Nothing. And they came in with the mantra for change. Can't you see it? So some people that have conscience say, look, this is not what we promised Nigerians. We told Nigerians we are coming to do things differently. And look at us. How can we go back to our people and tell them that, look, I mean, it's not practicable. They have complained, they have written letters, they have done everything for the leadership to take corrective measures. Nobody heard them, nobody took notice. Rather, somebody was just behaving as if he is the Lord of the manor. You wake up, you take decision, you do things in contradiction to their party laid down rules and regulations.
Okay, there's another call. Hello, good morning to you, Magnum.
That is not the issue.
Hello, good morning.
Yes,
morning.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Magnum.
Yes.
Okay. As regards to the defectors, because I've been following your program for a while now. As regards to the defectors, I believe when they were in their former party, they feel they could have a better bargain in APC as it was being from them. But coming in now, they discover that it is not business as usual. They are like people that were diseased, looking for a cure. When they come into APC, they could not see the cure to their problem. They have to go, they have to pull out. It's a natural thing. There are people that have their interest, not because of the people this time and another, but their own personal interest to protect. Check each one of them. They are talking about the issue of tickets. They are talking about the issue of party structure. What is the problem with the various state government? He did not perform, and he expects the federal government to back him up. Okay, you have defected now. Of what difference is that now to the security and economic interest of the people? What will the cabinet do for you now, or what they are supposed to have done to you? It's not unrealistic. That is for their own personal interest, and they cannot ask anything for them. Come 2019, the structures they left when they were in PDP, they are now going back. Are they going to have a structure for them? It's not possible. They are not going to cause chaos and the destruction of PDP eventually. That's my take this morning. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes.
You see, he made reference to Benue. Please, for God's sake, Benue is a litmus test for the ruling party. Sincerely speaking, if the ruling party have gotten Benue right, some of the things that happened wouldn't have happened. Everybody saw it now. For God's sake, if something is right, you don't need to even criticize it, because somebody will ask you, on what platform are you criticizing this action? But even APC have accepted that they have failed. And these people are looking for their political...
Accepted when? Sorry to cut you short. You said APC have accepted that they failed.
From what is going on, it's an indication they have already...
But they have not made any...
They've not made any
statement.
You see, action speaks louder than words.
No, it's because you said they've accepted.
They have accepted, yes. Action speaks louder than words. Didn't you see the resolution of the National Assembly? The 12-point resolution. Who are the majority in the National Assembly? Are they not APC members? No, tell me. Are they not APC members in the National Assembly? 12-point resolution. The one that annoyed me most was resolution 10, where they made it specifically that the IG of police, his only duty is to preside over the killing of Nigerians. A very serious indictment.
But
the president asked you to go to a place and stop what was going on there. You flattered your order. I mean, how low can anybody, any government go? How low? That was the height of everything now. In the history of this country, I have never heard or seen where a sitting government will be in place and this number of killings will be going on. The ICJ said it this morning that the killings by Fulani herdsmen is worse than that of Boko Haram.
But I mean, at the federal...
And you begin to ask yourself, who are the Fulani herdsmen? Who are they?
If I may come in there, sir, are the federal lawmakers also, does it look like, oh, they don't have any power within the Constitution to do anything? Because we always push that, all of this responsibility to the executive and say, oh, the president should have done this. But there's a reason why we have a legislature. Are they also not empowered by the Constitution to do something about these issues?
They have. In fact, I will continue to praise the National Assembly. God has a way of doing things. Nigeria did not realize why Saraki became the Senate president the way he did. Seriously, it would have been worse if this National Assembly is not in place. If this National Assembly is a rubber stamp National Assembly, before God and man, I don't think you and I will be here today. It would have been worse because you can see it. The executive don't behave as if no other person matters. The only people, the only group, the only institution that is calling them to order today is the National Assembly. And unfortunately, it's peopled by their own party members. So, if things were done right, how can your own party people be this vehement in criticizing you?
Okay, couldn't be because of what we saw, because you see the emergence of Saraki. He came in with issues surrounding him, and even when he came in, we saw all of those issues, accusation and counter-accusation and court session and all of that. Could it be that is why the APC is having all of these problems?
You see, whenever you say you are going to do something, please do it right. They said what is worth doing is worth doing right.
Okay, I will allow you. There's another caller from Ikoyi. Sam, good morning to you.
Hello?
Good morning to you, Sam.
Hello?
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 Good morning to you, Sam.
Hello?
Okay. I want to comment from this politician we are talking about. These people are always looking for their own personal interest. It's not for anything. If you look at it, you see the kind of poverty we do now. And you see how they carry their children go to abroad and they invest from abroad and their children are schooled abroad. Why can't you, how this thing cannot continue? Because of their personal interest. You see how everything, people are defecting from PDP to APC. This is what happened from 2015. And it still happened again. APC think that before, as these people become from PDP to APC, they are correct people. But now, they are become back because that's what happened for 2015. It still happen now. That's my contribution.
Thank you so much. Yes.
It's not about personal interest here. It will get to a point in a country where some people with conscience will say, look, let us stand up for the country. Saraki made it clear when he was invited for discussion that it's not about oil block or money, that it is to save democracy. He said it. For God's sake, if such a man is after money, I don't think anybody will defect anywhere. I am sure that the ruling government have enough money to placate them. I am sure of that. But they said no. It's about saving democracy. That is what we are saying here.
But
it has never been this bad.
They've had 3 years. Why now? Where it's just few.
They thought that things will get
the elections.
They thought that things will improve. That's what we are saying. You know, if they have started from the word go to start all this thing, they will say, you see now, of course, some of us who were criticizing the government we are called wailing wailers. They said, how can the government correct what has been done in 16 years? That we should give them time and all that. And 4 years is almost here. Yet no single achievement.
Okay, but she said something now.
Yes.
She said, why now? When we have just few months to elections. No, I'll allow you. We have few months to elections. You've been there 1 year, the first year gone, second year, and the third year, almost the fourth year. Why are they reacting this way now?
I have told you something here. I told you that these people are politicians, members of the National Assembly. Remember, they were elected by their people. What are they going back to their people with after 4 years? Tell me that Nigeria has overtaken India in poverty level, that people are committing suicide, that the hunger is so bad, that people are being slaughtered every day. Is that what they are going to campaign with? That was why they needed to do something. It's not about collecting money. I have told you here, if it is about collecting money or being placated, somebody like Saraki, I'm sure whatever he wants today, they will give it to him. I am sure of that. It's not about that. It has gotten to a point where people will say, look, I'm no longer interested. I know people who were heavily supporting this government who have made a 360-degree U-turn today. It's all because of what is going on. And it is there. The handwriting is on the wall. How can you continue to allow people to be slaughtered in such a manner? As a leader, as a country, as a government, and you have just decided not to do anything.
Do you think it's intentional? Do you think it's intentional?
Look, hold on. If we have not had protests elsewhere in the country, and you stopped it, we'll say, okay, maybe it's your character, maybe it's your principle. But we saw how you deployed armored tank, fighter jet to the southeast just because people were protesting for self-determination. They were not carrying guns. They didn't kill one single person. They never violated anybody. They didn't burn any place. And you sent so much force against them. Ransack the entire region. You know? And today, we don't even know where the so-called Nnamdi Kanu is. And IPOB have died down. Since that day till now, have you had anything in the southeast? Have anybody done anything or said anything? But this thing has continued since 2016 in the North Central. And you are telling me that all of a sudden, the same force you deployed in the southeast, you can no longer deploy it?
We have Sanusi.
I mean,
Sanusi,
there are evidence now.
Sanusi, good morning to you.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good
yes.
Morning.
Good morning to you.
Hello.
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 Hello. Good morning.
Morning. We are listening.
Hello.
Oh. Speak on.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hello.
Ah.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, you saw such things happening. Apart from that, please, with the amount of money that is coming into this government today, which I have analyzed in my previous...
Okay, my contribution is this. The man that is your guest this morning is a biased man.
Good.
Biased man. If you want to join the
No, let him... Oh, no. You see, what is bias here?
We expect you to call us.
Yeah, call back. Please, what is bias? You see, these are part of the reasons why things we don't get it right. I have pointed out things that are wrong. Before God and man, I would have loved Buhari to succeed. This bias, I don't understand.
Maybe he's expecting you to also point out his achievements.
No, we are not. Listen.
Because it's part of it.
Hold on. What is the achievement? The three things upon which you came into government with, please, is there any laudable record there? Insecurity, corruption, and economy. Oh yeah, the man that called, let him bring his own statistics. Let him bring it. That is where we judge people.
Okay, we have Chukudi.
And you are given 10 questions, and you answered only 2.
Chukudi, good morning to you.
Should I start praising you?
Yeah, good morning, madam.
Yes, come in.
Good morning, Mr.
Darlington.
What you are saying about the government, the typical truth for Kogi State, I want to comment on that place. Typical truth for the government that doesn't have anything to do. About 4 or 5 local governments in Kogi State, nobody living in that place. Concerning the S-men. If S-men, they are killing people,
and if the government can deploy the police, a 30,000 police to Ekiti because of government, why can't they deport the police and soldiers to Kogi State to save woman beings' life? These are the people that voted for them to sit on that place.
I wonder.
These people, they are killing them because of animal. They value human being more than, they value animal more than human being. And the same government, they are coming out and telling us they want to change. My brother, this country has a lot of things to do.
Thank you. Thank you. So are you saying there are no achievements in this government? Please. You've not seen any achievements in corruption?
No, maybe you will tell me. If we are fighting corruption, will the country be like this? For God's sake, by now, the money you recovered, the recovered loot, you would have plugged it back into the economy. By now, the economy will be booming. By now, the middle class that you chased out, they would have returned. Are you getting what I'm saying? People, look, it's just that it's unfortunate that propaganda have taken over our conscience. People should be asking themselves questions. If you say that no looting is going on, shouldn't we see it in the economy? Can't you see the reflection? But whereby a group of people now gathered together, collected the money, and sat on it.
But have you not heard of surplus? Have you not heard where, like Jump, they had surplus, they returned? We've been seeing that. Have you not heard of the looted funds being recovered, at least?
That is what we are saying. That is what we are saying. From which side are you recovering this money? Who are the people you are collecting this money from? And why can't you make it open? You say you will publish their names and how much you recovered from them. This secrecy is why people are so doubtful about what you are doing.
Have you not seen the list they brought out?
Which list?
The looters list.
Looters list.
Opposition list or looters list? Looters list that your own people are not there. Is that what you call? Oh God! Look at these are the things we are talking about.
Darlington, if these issues are
looters list that your own people are not there.
If these issues are the real issues why the lawmakers are defecting.
Yes.
Are there no structures within the party where they can lay these grievances and then they are addressed rather than pulling out of the party to another party?
They have done that, but nobody listened. Look at their new chairman. Their new chairman now is I don't know whether he's the second president of the country. Look at their new chairman. Look at the way he's dictating to ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Telling Ngige, the labor minister, if you don't constitute your board, I will sack you. Was it the one that appointed Ngige? Tell me. Was it the one that should tell Ngige to appoint board? If the board have not been appointed, is the president not aware of it? Tell me. Is the president not? You mean the president will order Ngige today to constitute his board, and Ngige will say no? These are things that people don't realize. The way this country is run in a very trickish manner. You will go inside the bush and cut a tree, and then you jump out on the road and say, who cut that tree? Is that not dubious?
Barrister Darlington, is it because we want to look at it and we want to be objective when we discuss things like this, but yes, looking at this administration since they came in, you're making us believe that they've not done anything good.
I said, tell me, let's so that we can take it from there. The three areas I mentioned here, is there any laudable achievement or is it all rhetorics? That's what I'm telling you.
But we saw where they recovered money from people. We saw where people were keeping monies in empty buildings, uncompleted buildings. We've not had this kind of situation before. We saw where people had to run away in this country. Are you saying you've not seen anything good?
Please, I have told you, what is worth doing is worth doing well. I have passed the level of mediocrity. Personally, I have passed the level of mediocrity. If you are going to do something, do it clinically good. That is what we are saying. Some of these media razzmatazz, we have passed that stage.
Will you be surprised if after the session, because they are coming back in September, these people now makes a new turn back to their party? But there's a caller here. I will allow you answer after this call. Hello, good morning to you, Bukola.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
The gentleman.
Yes.
appreciate the comments. But I want to talk from the angles of the Senate decanting from APC to PDP. I don't understand what is with our politicians. That the tone or the music has not been on their own path. They always look for a loophole. That is of people that they come from PDP in 2014 to APC. Okay, means that the PDP that is a devil in 2014 becomes an angel now. That's my number one point.
Okay.
That bothers me so much about our politicians and our leaders in this country. I'm sorry to use this word. We don't have a leader for masses. We have a leader for themselves and for their families. Now, this is my second point.
Okay.
In this Nigerian, are we practicing democracy? Or we are practicing a military force? Someone has a right or a venture to go to Senate as a Senate president. I'm referring to the Senate president right now. Then, yesterday, the IG denied that he was not aware of what happened to Senator Bukola Saraki and his deputy. Who is deceiving who? We are tired of these lies from our leader, that from the beginning we see them as a responsible leader, that is going to be a responsible leader. Sorry. Now, our president said he's going to tackle corruption. Up to date, no one. The list being brought out by the crew. Sorry, we are not happy about it. I'm not in system, but we are seeing what is happening in the system from afar.
No.
They should stop deceiving us. This is the high time they go home to go and rest. Let's have a people that will be accountable.
Okay, thank you so much, Bukola. I wanted to ask you that didn't you hear about the former governor of Plateau State that was sentenced to jail?
Which party was he and where did he jump from? Now let's leave that.
Is it really about party?
Is it party?
Or the fact that the work is being done?
As at today, is about partisanship. That is what we are saying. You heard what the caller said. How many people have been able to, from their own side, under this so-called PDP, people are trying to demonize. 4 Senate presidents was given the boots because of corruption. Is that not true? But the judge was sent to jail. I'm talking of high-ranking PDP officials. Stella Odua was relieved of his appointment as aviation minister for appointment. You can go on and on and on and on. You know the rest. This minor that is now the sent under APC was being prosecuted by PDP. Everybody saw that. What we are saying is that, you see, I told you here that the reason why we have not entrenched democracy is because we don't allow men of principle to come into power. We would have gotten democracy right under Jonathan. Some of the things that are plaguing us today, we would have gotten it under Jonathan because the man is a Democrat to the core.
So many people will disagree with you.
I know very well because
a lot of people out there will tell you.
Yes, listen now. That is why propaganda is not good. PDP, they are not good in propaganda, and that has been their weak points. They are not good in propaganda.
Propaganda, when we are seeing facts, when the government brought facts.
Good. Listen now, listen. I am not here to.
Of people that looted
I am
money.
not speaking for PDP. Listen, I am telling you that compared to what is going on today, they are better. These people are just under 4 years in office, and look at how the country has gone haywire. When PDP came into office, was it like this? I have asked you this question before. If PDP were actually looting the country for 16 years, why is it that people were not jumping into the lagoon, committing suicide? Why is it that the poverty level was still above average? No, tell me, why is it that we had middle class under PDP? Why is it that the companies we are running?
The APC has said that.
Why is it that the exchange rate was 197 and now it's 365? Why is it that the whole world came under economic meltdown in 2011? Worldwide economic meltdown, for God's sake. Nigeria never suffered it for one day.
But
even US and UK people, our kings and who were there, they were coming here to ask us for money.
But you saw how we handled recession when it happened.
You saw how they handled it. Yourself. It was deliberate. We never, in fact, we are not supposed to have any recession.
But the APC has said that, look, all of these things we're going through is because it's a build-up of what has been happening in the country for the past 16 years, and that's what we're suffering now. And you
believe, this is why I'm telling you that propaganda is our food, and you believe such a thing, that for 16 years, PDP never did anything. You believe that. That is what you're asking now. Facts are sacred. That is why I'm angry with propaganda.
We'll come back to you. We must go on this break now.
PDP is the devil, and yet there was governance under PDP.
Okay, we'll go on a break now.
We had our democracy under the PDP.
Barrister, let's go on a break now, and
these are facts.
We'll continue with
now. We can no longer talk. People are being
detained. We'll go on a break. We'll be right back.
Superdawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed. Now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
For 6 months, you didn't.
Welcome back. Barrister Darlington is still with us in the studio. Barrister Darlington, looking at this event, one begins to wonder if Nigerians, electorates, can even trust our leaders. Even when they are doing well, we don't seem to even appreciate. Some people will tell you Nigerians don't appreciate when they are doing something well, but once you're not doing it right, they come knocking at you. But looking at what this administration have done so far, I asked this question before. Are you still insisting that they've done nothing?
When you are giving an examination as a student, 10 questions, and you answered only 2, should I praise you? Tell me. Should I praise you? And those 2 are not even the core questions in your answer and your question paper. Because there are questions you must answer. They will tell you this one, compulsory. Is that not true? Good. When you have not answered the compulsory questions, then you have scored below pass mark. There's no two ways about it. Corruption, which everybody believes is a problem in Nigeria. Believe you me, I expected APC government because that was what they came into office with. By now, this country would have been cleaned out.
In fighting corruption, is there no legal process? I mean, there is a legal process.
No, nothing is on ground. It's just corruption on the pages of newspapers.
But we have the courts. We have our courts.
They have to go to court and wait for the courts to decide.
Who is following court proceedings? Let me give you a typical example. Because that case is supposed to be a locus classicus in the prosecution of past governors, past corrupt governors. For the first time, a former governor, Bala Ngalari, was convicted by the court. The two parties were in court. They canvassed all the arguments. There was no arm twisting anywhere. And when the evidence became overwhelming, the court had to rule against the man, and he was sent to jail for 5 years. That was where the drama started. He was now asked to choose where he would serve his jail sentence. As if that was not enough. A jail term that was supposed to last for 5 years, under 5 days, a mysterious letter was written to the same judge who has already washed off his hand from that case. A mysterious letter was written to the same judge to bring the man out of prison and then tell him to specifically go to Dubai to cool off.
This allegations now.
No, please don't say allegation, please.
Okay,
it's there. I challenge anybody to come and tell me that it is
we've
false.
not heard of that.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Are you the only new man in
a mysterious letter was written for him to go and pull up somewhere. When
the judge said it, that a letter was written. A letter was written.
The letter itself.
You see what I'm saying? A judge couldn't have brought a man he sent to jail by himself. It's not possible. A letter was written to him specifically asking him to bring him out.
So you are saying this government is not sincere in fighting, in handling the fight against corruption? Is that what you're saying?
That one is just one. The real corruption institution, corruption fighter in this country today is EFCC. I mean, they have taken the larger chunk of fighting corruption, especially among politicians. Their former boss, who happened to be Ibrahim Lamodi, there was an allegation against him. Allegation. Go to court and clear yourself. That money is so huge that you can't sweep it under the carpet. A whistleblower said, look, they recovered the loot under this man's custody. 1 trillion was missing from there. I expected EFCC. That is where the cleaning up should have started. But Lamode was asked to leave this country. Say he went for medical checkup. 3 days after he visited Azorok, I was thinking the day he was invited there, Buhari will order for his arrest. But he left there and disappeared. All of a sudden, the same man, while we were talking, raising alarm over that issue, the man in charge said, look, that they are making effort to bring him back to come and answer for the charges.
I'm going to allow you to continue. But
after that, what happened? This same man came back.
Hello, good morning to you, Samuel. Okay, you will continue.
Now, this same man came back, and without any fanfare, he was reinstated and promoted to be heading the special fraud unit at Mevatin today. He did not even appear in court for one day and say whether he's guilty or not. No plea was taken, nothing. Rather, the whistleblower, you know what they did to him? They now remember that he did a police contract, that the police vehicle was involved, just to silence him, and the matter died. I expected the Magu, who is still the interim, is an interim chairman of ESC, because the Senate have not confirmed him.
But how does a defection fix all of these issues? Because I mean, let's assume that these issues exist. But how does defection fix them?
What is going on now is no longer. I told you the last time I came here that this is no longer defection. It is mass movement. 43 political parties came together against this same APC and their leadership. Is that a joke? This movement from one area to the other, you should be asking yourself.
We have Yemi on the line. Yemi, good morning to you.
What is the reason? PDP have learned their lesson.
Yemi, hello. Yemi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to the guests in the house and to the two sisters in the house.
Good morning.
Actually, all I want to say is government, like I called yesterday, I did my contribution to this. Again, it's just that this government fails. You know, when you are like fight corruption, it came into power and we don't need to do that. The opposition members are defected to their party. Once they are back to APC, they are sent. They are charged, corruption charges.
What are you talking about?
Once it was deflected into APC, how can be automatically, which shows that these governments are not even fighting the corruption. Let's be honest. There was an account that was opened in the name of NNPC, and he read about this thing in the house. It brought up the account who have the BVN. We did not hear that was found in legend the other. Not where are they fighting from? I'm not. So thank you. Good morning.
Morning. You see, this is why I told you that propaganda is what APC is using against Nigerians. Listen very well. You said the PDP is corrupt. You made it clear. Meanwhile, 80% of your members are from PDP. You were welcoming them, opening your door. Can you open your door to an armed robber?
Is it really 80%?
Go and check. Directly or indirectly. Because if one man moves with his state, how many people has he moved with? Answer me. How many people did you move with? That is the question. You said the armed robbers. You are accepting them with open arms.
Are they not the same people? The caller that called before Yemi said something. He said, ahead 2015 elections, people merged and moved. And these people are the people in APC. So if we're saying that APC government, this led administration is not doing things right, are we not also saying that the people that moved are the same people? Are they not the same persons?
That is what I'm telling you now.
So listen, it's the same PDP people as well.
Listen, APC accepted PDP people into their fold for credibility purpose. Nothing else. They wanted somebody they will use to show up their credibility because they were not accepted. They used PDP to show up their popularity. Look, if you see how the 2015 election played out, you will know that I appreciate what one man said, the late CBN governor, Adamu Shiroma. He said something. He said APC did not win the election and PDP did not lose the election. That was how he summarized it. Very, very intelligent way of putting things. The place where APC had the highest vote under the presidential election, Kano. You saw what happened there. After the election, the people were so angry, they had to burn the Kano wreck in his house and surrounded it with cutlass, waiting for him to come out. They burned down the house of that man with his family.
But Mr.
If the thing had gone their way, would they do such a thing?
Let me go back to the question she asked you. The question, if you're saying 80% of the people in the APC are PDP, are you not indirectly saying that this is PDP that is not also working if 80% of the people in that party are PDP?
You see, in Nigerian context, leadership is the key. We have a presidential system that have made the president to be so powerful. The president of Nigeria is so powerful constitutionally. A man that is controlling 68% in the both concurrent and this other list, that executive list, the one that had to do with the federal government and the one that had to do with state and the local government. The executive are controlling 68%, and it is under one man's authority. Who controls the instrument of coercion in this country?
We have Adedele. We have Adedele. Good morning to you.
He's the president.
Hello.
So leadership is the key. As far as the
hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning to you.
I am not a politician per se, but I do cast my vote anytime there is election.
Okay.
I believe the man sitting, the way I've been talking, is a PDP man. Any man who cannot see a good thing from Buhari government, I believe it's not sincere.
Truly.
Let me just tell you one thing.
Okay.
Buhari has been doing a lot of things.
Mention them.
To fight corruption.
Can you imagine?
To fight corruption. What happened during the PDP in 2015 when it got to APC is exactly what is happening now. All the abandoned projects that PDP left, APC have done a lot. And in some other governments, they will abandon the project to be left out. So I believe the will that by 2019, we are going to see another Buhari in action.
No problem.
And I also believe that all the senators that defected or the House of Reps, they will regret their action. That is my contribution.
Thank you so much for your contribution, but we must wrap up now.
Now, you see, these are part of what we are saying. You know what we call Stockholm Syndrome. You will get to a point whereby you begin to sympathize with your oppressor. That is the stage where some Nigerians are now. You know, when you are hypnotized, you will never see anything wrong in what is going on around you until...
Mr. Darlington, I would say that everyone is entitled to...
That's what I'm telling you. Yes, everybody is entitled.
Before we wrap up, let me ask you this question. You said something about 39 parties are coming together to form a coalition.
43, yes.
43 parties are coming together to form a coalition for the PDP.
For the APC.
For the PDP. But you also, that is the same thing that happened with the APC. It was a coalition, and that's the same thing you're complaining about. So what makes you think that this coalition that is about to happen is the messiah that Nigeria has been waiting for?
Look at the number. Look at the sheer number. In that of 2015, it was just a merger. AMPP, CPC, and ACN. These were the three parties that merged together.
And the new PDP.
And the new PDP. So how many are they? But we are talking of 43 political parties across all the regions. I want you to look at it on merit. There are things that are not right. Look, if you know democracy, the tenet of democracy, is it what we are practicing? The answer is capital no. Democracy has to do with freedom of speech, rule of law, freedom of expression, constitutional order. Are they in place? A court have ruled, release a man from detention up to West African court. So you mean the executive of this country, the leadership of this country, they are more wise. I mean, they are more legally minded. They are more intelligent. They are more exposed than the West African court that said, release this man.
Okay, we need to wrap up now.
We didn't see anything wrong. And he has been in detention. For what?
Okay, we need to wrap up now.
So you don't see the fight against corruption when somebody is trying to express his vendetta against perceived enemies.
Okay, in wrapping up, one word before we just leave this set now. One word from you. Do you think come 2019 this government will retain seats? And if they do, if you think they might not, if you think they will not retain seats, what do you think will happen?
You see, I would have loved a situation whereby this defection will be carried out by the people. You know, in Europe and America, it was the people that said, no, we are tired of this. You know of some of the things that happened there. So my prayer is that this government, they should not allow the people to take to the streets. That's what I'm praying for.
Because God will not allow it happen, but we must go now. I want to thank...
This hunger and poverty, it will get to a point where people will say, enough is enough. That's what we are praying against. So these people who are now saying they have done it, they should go and check their record. Nigeria has never had it so bad.
Okay, I want to thank Barrister Darlington Agomo. He's a public affairs analyst and a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming on this segment of the program.
Thank you, my dear. It's a pleasure.
We will go on a break now, and when we come back, Superdawn will continue. Please stay with us.
Superdawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed. Now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. It's Superdawn Sports, and we have Prince Will Oviesan here. Prince Will, good morning to you.
Very good morning and a splendid Friday.
It's a beautiful one. Well, we want to look at sports, and before I allow you continue, before I leave this set, I know that the African Athletic Championship will be starting up next week.
Yeah, on the 5th precisely. Sorry, on the 1st to 5th, and Asaba is ready. Top athletes in Africa are raring to go, and the Kenyans are actually making bold of picking up that particular championship.
I know it's going to be very interesting because the Oni of Ife will be there live, and loads of dignitaries will be going to Delta State, and the governor said yesterday that they are ready for dignitaries.
Super Scream might be there.
We will be there live, and I know you guys are going, and also we have scandal in the sporting arena.
Talking about the scandal, it's quite an appalling situation. Salisu Yusuf filmed picking just $1,000. This is a man who earns close to $20,000. So what is $1,000 to Salisu Yusuf? It's a very disgraceful situation. Well, still under investigation though. Okay, still under investigation. Well, I'm going to allow Prince Will continue as well. We'll be right back. Let's go on a break. We'll be back.
Begins anew for Arsenal Football Club under Unai Emery here in Singapore against Atletico Madrid. Aubameyang going to hit it. Again, he was closed down by Juan Fran. Well, they work him. Lacazette drives into the box here. It's aimed at him. And he might yet get it. Oblak covering his near post. Wasn't fooled by that, Oblak.
Well, that attack out of possession. How does he fit into this Unai Emery? New look Arsenal.
Fran does get to this one. It's a good pullback as well.
And side again. It's Juan Fran, not the most adventurous to fullbacks, but when he gets in there, he knows exactly what he wants.
Back to where they started. Smith Rowe to Guendouzi. Ramsey, nice that. Lacazette, Oblak narrowing the angle. Superb goalkeeping.
Ramsey round